We gotta talk about Diddy verdict. The trial that had the whole world talking. The trial that showed us a new term called Freakoffs.
Yep.
Back in court for a post-trial hearing. The court is formulating a sentencing schedule that's supposed to happen in October. The hearing comes less than a week after Combs was convicted of 2 of the 5 criminal charges in his sex trafficking and racketeering case.
Can y'all feel the vibe?
It's a vibe.
You know it's JEJE vibe.
Oh, JEJE.
Can y'all feel the vibe? It's a vibe. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to JEJE Vibe. Now I got my amazing queen with me.
Thanks, my love.
You know it's Lewis and Gabriel, and if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Here's where you have to hit the like and subscribe. Also share the video with someone you love. It's JEJE Vibe is the place to be. We gotta talk about Diddy verdict. The trial that had the whole world talking. The trial that showed us a new term called Freakoffs.
Yep.
A trial that has been brewing and it's finally over.
What's happening is that Sean Combs' team says they want this sentencing to happen as soon as possible. The judge had tentatively set it for October. They want it much sooner. Sean Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, was even saying that he'd be willing to waive the ordinary probation report. The judge didn't want to do this. He said the parties here are just too far apart in their viewpoints about this sentencing. The maximum here is 20 years, although last week the prosecution, after doing some calculations, was then estimating more like at least 5 or 6 years. The defense was projecting more like 2 years. So there's just a really big divide here. It's also important to note that Combs has already been detained for 10 months now, so that will count towards whatever his sentence is. And his defense team says they just feel that they have strong arguments for a short sentence. They want this as soon as possible. It's also worth noting that you can't appeal until after your sentencing, so that could be on their minds as well.
I guess this particular trial is over. We don't know what's going to come up next in the future.
Yeah, because some charges were dropped.
Prosecutors have dropped some charges against Diddy.
Federal prosecutors said that attempted arson of Kid Cudi's Porsche was one of the underlying crimes underpinning the racketeering conspiracy. We'll back up for a second. In order to find Sean Combs guilty of racketeering conspiracy, the jury must find that he conspired to commit some other offenses. And until today, prosecutors said one of those was attempted arson. They showed the jury pictures of Kid Cudi's torched out Porsche. And he even testified, saying that he saw the Molotov cocktail that was responsible, the charred interior, his blackened sports car. And the implication was that Sean Combs was behind it, but there was never direct evidence tying Combs to the arson. So prosecutors signaled in a letter to the judge that they would no longer proceed under the theory that Combs conspired to commit attempted arson. One of the other underlying crimes, the so-called predicate acts, involved attempted kidnapping of Capricorn Clark, a former assistant to Sean Combs. Prosecutors are no longer going to proceed under that theory either. Instead, they're emphasizing other crimes that they say Combs conspired to commit, like sex trafficking, like forced labor, and they're going to emphasize those things.
Crazy. So, this is a whole new arena, because right now it's like we have there's this notion out there that the feds are like 99.9% gonna get you if they come for you, but it's looking like
The feds are more corrupt.
A lot of people are not happy with this verdict.
Which I do agree with, because what Diddy was indicted for was not what they presented in the trial.
Crazy. Remember when they announced the Diddy indictments?
In the unsealing of a 3-count indictment charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
The charges?
The amount of baby oil, the chemical substance, now GHB.
A bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freakoffs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freakoffs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
None of that appeared in this trial.
Even the guns.
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there.
None of that appeared in this trial.
And hey, everything that Little Rod said
None of that
was what they found.
Two men at Two-Star Island. Stop playing. The 2 men at Two-Star Island. What was that a regular thing? Was things like that a regular thing? And how would you process those sexual encounters? How would you process it like the day? Because you have to go to work.
Again, trial. Trial.
But you're saying that did happen though, right?
Everything that I said that's inside of that lawsuit happened, bro.
And still, none of that appeared in this trial.
Did you tell them where the baby oil was, bro? Be honest.
Listen, I told them everything.
So you knew where the baby oil was stored?
Bro, baby oil is just a small piece of everything else that never seen a day of light in court.
So tell me what you told them. You told me the guns is at.
Was it there?
It was. They got it. So did you tell them?
Did I tell them about the drug mule? I told them about the fanny pack.
Okay, but did you tell them location? Because again, I have seen all the exhibits. They found.
I took a piece of paper.
Yes, you drew it.
And I drew out every outline of the house where everything you could think of is.
This trial was more like Cassie
And Diddy.
And this is none of our business. What a man does in his bedroom is his own business.
It's his own business.
So why are we getting informed about what Diddy likes to do in his bed? To me, that's what this trial just feels like. It feels like, okay, we saw the whole crazy stuff that happened in the hotel lobby or in the hotel hallway.
And that could have been domestic violence now on charge now, but we didn't see that presented in the court, considering the fact that Cassie now has already filed a civil lawsuit and she got money off of it.
And she got paid.
How many freak-offs she participated in during her decade-long relationship with Combs? She said, I don't know, hundreds. Now, Cassie also revealed that she received a $20 million settlement from Combs and his company after she sued him, alleging abuse, alleging freak-offs, in November of 2023. Cassie said that that lawsuit came after she, through her lawyer, was seeking $30 million for the rights to a book she was writing about Combs.
So now this whole Diddy Cassie relationship drama now becomes a freak-off.
A freak-off show.
So we're getting to hear and getting to hear to the jury, getting to for them to see what a freak-off is.
In a key moment of this trial, wearing headphones, jurors were shown excerpt videos of freak-offs played in the courtroom for the first time today. The videos coming from a laptop belonging to Cassie Ventura.
When it came time to play these video excerpts of freak-offs, jurors put on headphones, so did the lawyers and Sean Combs. The public screens were shut off because the gallery was not allowed to see or hear these explicit videos. But as the excerpts played, we could faintly hear the sound of music and moaning noises.
The jury also shown text messages between Combs and Ventura, in which prosecutors say he texted her, "Want to celebrate Christmas and have a freak-off tonight or Friday?" Further text messages, they said, were summoning escorts to a hotel. Also at the center of today's court proceedings, text messages, emails, and documents shown in court.
The videos came with hotel receipts, credit card statements, travel records that helped give the jury a full picture of how Sean Combs allegedly got her and male escorts to different hotel rooms for the purposes of these sexual encounters.
Police photographed a collection of lingerie, 200 bottles of baby oil, and 900 bottles of lubricant as we see for the first time what some of those freak-offs looked like. Hotel room furniture covered in sheets and towels. In response to the large collection of freak-off supplies, Diddy's defense attorney argued his star client likes to buy in bulk like any other American.
So let's go back to what the charges they had. They had racketeering for conspiracy, which is the maximum is life in prison. They have sex, moving by force, fraud or coercion. Yeah, sex moving. And they have transportation to engage in crazy activities.
Paying for the sex moving now.
Yeah. Sex, moving by force, fraud or coercion. Transportation to engage in ashawo activities.
For our Ninja people.
So, this like serious charges, but so far, they only found him guilty for 2. Which is moving to engage in ashawo activities. Both of them are still moving to engage in ashawo activities.
Yep, that's paying for the moving now.
So, this whole verdict, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worthy? Do you think that this trial has gone through the court properly? And what do you guys think?
So,
what do you guys think?
If it was, well, we've called it, this is nothing but a freak-off case now, and we also have another case that is actually worse than Diddy's.
Crazy. The other cases that are coming out, like we're not saying Diddy is a saint.
No.
Yeah, he's rich and he got into his head. He started exploring things that
because he could pay for it.
Because he could pay for it. And so far, from what they're saying in this trial, is like these victims wanted to be there.
It looks like they are nothing but equal participants now.
Facts. And we're going to talk about Cassie really soon because
she's gonna get an episode
because she has a lawsuit coming, or she already has a lawsuit already. But we're going to dive there, and this is just the aftermath of the verdict, because now the case is open and it's looking like Cassie might not be the only victim. So she could be a victim to Diddy, and
meanwhile somebody
is a victim to her. So it's about to go crazy out here.
Yep.
Diddy verdict finally, only 2 counts were able to be proven guilty. Diddy is happy. His family happy.
After nearly a 2-month trial with 34 witnesses and hours of salacious testimony, a jury of 8 men and 4 women finds Sean Diddy Combs not guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking, but guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Once court was adjourned, family members cheered Combs' son, Christian, telling ABC News how happy he is.
Hey, yo, we love y'all. We love everybody watching. So happy. Pop's coming home. God bless. God bless the whole world.
What was going through your head when the verdict was read? Happy.
Dancing out of the court, because only the racketeering could just land him life in prison. So you can see why the family is happy.
The defense, meanwhile, argued the women were willing participants in fulfilling Combs' sexual desires, and that all the encounters we heard about in this trial were consensual. And there you see, after the verdict, Diddy's family celebrating on the streets in New York City, doing push-ups on the sidewalk while others danced.
At least he's going to serve time, but not that too much of a time.
Yeah, and then some people are calling for his release compared to the Abercrombie and Fitch guy now.
Crazy. We're going to also touch on that too. Because if you're looking at the 2 cases,
they're very similar.
Not really similar, because this is like even worse than.
Well, you would say, the Abercrombie and Fitch guys one is actually way worse.
It's crazy.
But then again, it's still a form of another Freakoffs now.
Yeah.
Allegedly running an international sex trafficking and prostitution scheme.
According to a new federal indictment, former Abercrombie boss Mike Jeffries and his alleged co-conspirators interviewed and hired men for so-called sex parties fueled by alcohol, drugs, and Viagra. And authorities say many of the victims were prospective male models looking for work in the fashion industry.
So it's just crazy what these people indulge in. There's so much coming out these days. And we just got to stay on top of things. So a lot of people are happy for Diddy. Diddy fans are happy. A lot of people are not happy with the outcome of the verdict.
Yeah, some people are now talking about what could happen to the victims now. Worried about the victims.
Yeah.
Outside the courthouse, huge crowds gathered. Combs' supporters celebrated with baby oil and cheers, but others called the verdict an injustice.
Press, spectators, and streamers packed in closely outside of court for hours, waiting for a final court ruling in the Diddy trial. Moments filled with support.
Free pop! Free pop!
Baby oil, a key piece in the trial, and outrage.
It's an atrocity. It's a disgusting decision.
The jury acquitted Sean Diddy Combs of the most serious counts.
The charges were too excessive.
And found him guilty of 2 lesser charges for transportation to engage in prostitution. Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, testified for 4 days about her rocky relationship with Combs and described in detail instances she says Combs physically abused her.
I was definitely hoping for him to be charged with the trafficking.
Ashley Potter says the jury ruling sent a clear message to women across the country.
I think it stays the same, where we're expected to stay quiet or deal with it, because there's not really any justice.
But Katie Kessner, the executive director of Take Back the Night, disagrees.
I think despite the outcome of the Diddy case, it is so critical that victims and survivors not give up on speaking out, standing up, breaking the silence.
Hours after the jury ruling,
everybody was like, oh!
The judge denied Diddy bail.
And that is justice right there. He should have got found guilty on almost all of those charges.
While some called it karma, others absorbed the news.
I think he should have been released.
That's the only thing we're looking at right now. The only thing we're thinking about, focused about, is him getting home to his family, his kids, and his mom.
And Diddy was hoping he was going to be granted bail, but the judge said, nah.
Reporting indicates that the judge is citing to the defense attorney's own statements during the case that Sean Combs is a violent person, has had violent personal relationships. But of course, the defense said that doesn't mean he's guilty of racketeering. It looks like the judge is now using those statements to say he should be denied bail. Separate, what we know is that there will be a sentencing hearing. The prosecution has said we're going to ask for a good deal of time. We don't know exactly what that is. And the defense obviously wants no time at all. So 2 different hearings on 2 different issues.
So, as it stands now, Sean Combs will remain behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. At the time, the judge rejected a $1 million bail package and proposed October 3rd for sentencing. The defense fiercely objected, pointing out Combs was found not guilty of the most serious charges and asked the judge to expedite sentencing. Combs' legal team even went as far as citing, quote, exceptional circumstances. The fact that the mother of 4 of Combs' kids is no longer alive, Kim Porter, passed away in 2018. The government urged the judge to stand firm in that October date.
After deliberation, the judge said, nah, you're not going home.
Yeah, considering the fact that some people that were summoned to testify never showed up too.
Crazy.
Is a key witness in the Sean Diddy Combs trial backing out? Victim number 3, as she's called, was set to testify against the music mogul. The name of victim number 3 was going to be revealed when she took the stand, but the woman has apparently gone missing, and prosecutors say they've been unable to reach her.
So now, some of the victims, like Cassie, wrote a letter to the judge.
So Cassie also wrote a letter to the judge, and she's asking for the judge to deny bail, to keep Diddy locked up. And then, in addition to that, you also have Cassie's lawyers writing as well on her behalf, and also explaining the message that it will convey if the court was to release Diddy for his sentences. So they pretty much like, you'll be sending a message saying that money and power can put you above the law.
And some of them are scared that if Diddy comes out, Diddy might come after them. So that's yet to be seen. But Diddy is waiting to receive his sentencing, which will be coming in a few months' time. I think that should be in October.
Yep, that's a long time in these days.
Crazy.
Sentencing date hearing unexpectedly adjourned following the conviction of Sean Diddy Combs last week. In fact, defense attorneys and federal prosecutors initially agreed to a September 22nd sentencing date for Combs. This is ahead of a remote hearing that was set for this afternoon. But shortly before the hearing, attorneys for both sides sent a joint letter to the judge saying that they had agreed to the original proposed sentencing date of October 3rd.
So Diddy has to wait until he gets sentencing, and he's going to know how many time or how long he's going to be spending in jail before thinking about being a free man.
And then the civil lawsuits that will now follow suit.
There's a whole lot of them.
Yep, and then more were coming too just right after.
I wonder what leverage and how this changes those civil claims, because he is facing a mountain of civil claims. It felt like they were coming fast and furious there after he got indicted on the federal charges, the criminal charges. Then the civil deluge of lawsuits started to come out.
Crazy times. So we could see how Diddy could take this as a victory.
But for now, Diddy's team is all smiles as they pose for photos outside of court.
Today's a great victory. It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system. You saw that the Southern District of New York prosecutors came at him with all that they had. They're not stopping, but one thing stands between all of us and a prison, and that is a jury of 12 citizens.
Some of the victims might take this as a loss, but at least he's going to be serving time.
Yeah, but for me, I see the bigger picture though, because with this whole thing now, a lot of things have been exposed.
Facts. And that's what we're seeing with the whole Tyler Perry.
All of them catching lawsuits now.
Everybody's catching lawsuits, and so many. Well, at least we're hearing, even if it's not the truth, we're hearing at least what's going on.
And we can no longer say it's not true anymore now.
Because it's
It's
crazy.
looking in the thousands.
Crazy.
Music, fashion, alcohol. Seems like there's no industry that Sean Diddy Combs hasn't touched. The cameras and the crowds are to be expected. In fact, he's pretty used to them, but nothing quite like this. From the people packed behind barricades to the waving around of bottles of baby oil, the spectacle was certainly on brand for someone as big as Diddy.
Diddy was somebody that we definitely looked up to and admired for his business acumen and all that kind of stuff, you know?
The media frenzy has followed Sean Combs and his family into this chapter of fame. Cheers and jeers as his children and his mother made their way into and out of the courthouse. What does verdict day mean for Diddy's legacy?
Legacy is ruined. And 10 years from now, any of my grandkids look back at Bad Boy, all they're gonna hear about is these things here.
I would have probably voted not guilty on everything, only because I feel that the government overcharged and overreached.
It doesn't change my view on Diddy, because I know that he's not a good man. He's not a good man.
The reaction just as mixed as the verdict itself. Make no mistake, this is not a happy day, even for fans.
Yeah, I definitely was a fan. What he's done in the music industry. I mean, there's so many positive things that he's brought, right?
But Monica says this case and this trial and this publicity has revealed the dark side of an icon.
So what you guys think about Diddy's verdict? If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. You know it's JEJE Vibe. I got my queen with me, and we out of here. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye now.
JEJE Vibe, JEJE Vibe, JEJE Vibe.
It's JEJE Vibe.
Okay, feel the vibe, we feel the vibe, we feel the vibe. You know, it's JEJE Vibe.
It's JEJE Vibe.
Can you feel the vibe?
It's a vibe.
Of updates on Diddy. We have not fully confirmed this. We are hearing that Diddy is enrolled in a domestic violence and a drug treatment program, two separate ones, while behind bars. This is a common program offered to most all inmates. We have not been able to confirm. We're getting some conflicting information on it, but we are hearing that he is participating in those two programs.
13 new lawsuits against Sean Combs, including from a reality TV show contestant claiming she was assaulted by the rapper to a man who claims he was abused when he was 14. The allegations are deeply disturbing. It's a lawsuit that was filed just 2 days ago. This is a lawsuit filed out in California State Court. Edmund Laurent, former exotic dancer, he's filed a suit against Combs and a Jane Doe and other unnamed people, listing causes of action of assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, sexual battery, civil conspiracy, aiding and abetting, violation of the California Civil Code. Laurent alleges that he was this star model, this actor, this bodybuilder who was highly sought after for music videos in the 1990s and 2000s, like with Tupac, Dr. Dre, Britney Spears. Actually, embedded in his complaint are pictures of him with various celebrities. And then he mentions he rarely consumed alcohol, he didn't do drugs. He claims he was friendly with Sean Combs, having seen him on music video shoots. But then he alleges this. He alleges how he did some work as this male entertainer for bachelorette parties. And on one occasion, he arrives at an LA hotel where Combs and Jane Doe are wearing masks. He performed a private dance. A few days later, he claims he gets another call for Combs and Jane Doe. He alleges that Jane Doe propositioned him for sex. Combs purportedly said he wanted this and how much it turns him on to see a man having sex with his girl, so he agrees. Laurent alleges that he kept on contacting him, and on another visit, Combs and Jane Doe unmasked themselves, asked him to apply excessive amounts of baby oil. They allegedly spiked his drink. He claimed on another occasion he applied baby oil that was tainted with GHB, and during sexual intercourse, Jane Doe broke the condom that he was wearing on purpose with her fingernails, despite him previously saying he didn't want to have unprotected sex. He alleges at that point, Combs kind of went behind him, whispered into his ear sexual commands. He claims he felt trapped, uncomfortable. He recounted a really graphic alleged scene where Combs physically grabbed him. And he documents another incident where he claims he was drugged, woke up naked, slathered in baby oil, felt pain in a certain region of his body. He claims he developed warts. He would vomit, gastric issues, had to even undergo surgery. He embedded photos of the surgery scars in his lawsuit. He says he was once this muscular physique, now no longer. He had stomach issues, gum issues, enamel erosion, bad breath. He says he suffered immediate long-term physical and psychological harm. A lot of information there.